I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Christ. Now, that's not his last name. That is his role or office name. The word Christ is the Greek translation of the Hebrew word for Messiah. That's why it says in verse 41 of John 1, we have found the Messiah, which is translated Christ. So when you hear the word Christ, which is spoken of over 500 times in the New Testament, you are literally hearing the Old Testament word Messiah. Now, the word Messiah, from which we get our Greek word translated in English as Christ, meant anointed one. That's what Messiah means. That's what Christ means. It means anointed one. The whole Old Testament is written in anticipation of the one to come called the Messiah. It was called the Messianic hope. You can't understand the Old Testament, and the Old Testament will never make full sense unless you understand the Messianic hope. That is the anticipation of Messiah. Generation after generation after generation after generation was looking forward to this promised person that God would send, who would have the anointing to fulfill the purposes of God for not only his people Israel, but for the whole world. And that person would be the Messiah, which is translated Christ.
It is I who was redeemed from among men. It is I, the perfect sacrifice whose blood atones for all sins in those who believe. It is I who was dead but is alive forevermore, and I who dwells in the hearts of my chosen one.